Hi! What a wonderful day to start our lesson. Welcome to our English online class. So first, let's have camera and audio check. Okay? So can you hear me well? How about the camera? Can you see me clearly? Wow, that's great. So since we are done now with the technicalities, let us now pray. Okay, so let us bow our heads and feel the presence of the Lord. Lord, first I want to thank you for this chance given to me. Lord, we thank you for the love and blessings you have given us. Lord, we thank you for keeping us and our families safe and healthy in this time of pandemic. Lord, please guide and enlighten our minds throughout this important session. We ask this all in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Okay, so once again, I'd like to greet you. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Okay, so my name is Teacher Seth, and I will be your teacher for today. Okay, so you can call me Miss Seth or Teacher Seth. It's up to you. Okay, so since this is our first meeting, may I know each one of you? So let's start with you, Miss Beautiful. What is your name? Wow, your name is Ira. Nice to meet you, Ira. How about you, Mr. Curly Hair? Can you please introduce yourself? Wow, nice name. Okay, so nice to meet you all, guys. Oh, before I forget, have you eaten your breakfast? Wow, that's good. Oh, how about this morning? What did you do? Did you all help your parents doing the household chores? Wow, very good. Okay, so this time, let me introduce to you our class objectives. Okay, so number one, unlock the meaning of some unfamiliar words. Letter B, generate the significance of mother's love and wisdom as it enhances one's experiences and ideals in life. Letter C, share the thoughts about the lesson. Okay, so let's have the online classroom rules. So before we start our online class, please be reminded of the following virtual classroom rules. Okay, so number one, be prompt. Okay, so be punctual. So you need to be here in our class 10 minutes before the call time. Okay? Okay, very good. Number three, so find a comfortable and quiet place to stay to avoid some necessary noises. Okay? So number four, dress appropriately. Okay, so never ever wear sandals, spaghetti, or any dress that will show some of your private parts. Okay, so number five, turn off your microphone when someone is speaking. Okay, and number six, turn on your camera. Number seven, participate actively in our discussion. And number eight, be polite. Okay? So be polite when answering my questions or be polite when talking to your classmates. Okay? So is everything clear to you? Okay, very good. So, class, before we start to our lesson, let's have first an activity. So this activity is called 4 Picks 1 Word. So are you familiar with that game? Wow, that's good. Okay, let's get started. So, class, listen carefully to the directions, okay? So, each level displays 4 pictures linked by 1 word. So, the player's aim is to work out what the word is. So, from a set of letters given below the pictures. Okay, so let's start. Who wants to answer number 1? Who wants to answer level 1? Okay, Ira. What do you think is the answer here? So what do you think is shown in the pictures? Okay, what's the answer? Okay, so let's find out if your answer is correct. Wow, very good. So I'll give you an excellent star for that. So thank you, Ira. Let's have level 2. Okay, who wants to answer level 2? Oh, how about you, Ben? So can you answer this one? What do you think is the answer? So there is a family, God, a rings, and a couple. So what do you think? All right, so let's see if your answer is correct. Wow, very good. So I'll give you a great job for that. So the answer is love. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so any one of you wants to answer this level 3? Okay, so the answer is mother. Yay! Great job. Okay, so this time, guys, let's discuss and analyze together. Okay, so based on the activity that we did a while ago, let's answer question number 1. Okay, I want you to answer this one, Ben. Okay, so what does the word mother means to you? Or when you hear the word mother, what thought comes in your mind? Or how will you describe your mother? What's your answer? Wow, very good, Ben. So let's have question number 2. So why do we need to love and respect our mother? Why? Ira, what's your answer? Wow, very good. Nice answer. Okay, so let us now have question number 3. How will you be a good daughter and son to your parents? Who wants to answer? Okay, Antoinette. Wow, very good. Okay, so thank you for all the answers. So is everything clear so far? Wow, okay, so nice to hear that. So, this time, before we totally discuss our topic for today, let's have first the unlocking difficulties. Okay, so when we say unlocking difficulties, it's also known as vocabulary words or unfamiliar words. Okay, so listen carefully to the directions. Okay, so read the sentences carefully and try to comprehend the meaning of the underlined words. Okay, are you ready? All right, let's get started. Okay, who wants to answer sentence number 1? Okay, can you read the sentence? Okay, so the underlined word is widow. What do you think is the meaning of that word? Okay, let's see. Wow, very good. So when we say widow, it is a woman who has lost her spouse by death yet remarried. All right. Sentence number two. Okay, can you read? Wow. Okay, so this time the underlined word is despotic. So what do you think is the meaning of that word? Okay, so let's see. Very good. So the meaning of despotic is cruel. Okay, so let's have sentence number three. Okay, kindly read. The king committed many barbarous acts during his reign. So what do you think is that? Let's find out. All right, good job. So barbarous means brutal, okay? Let's have another one. Kindly read. All right, so the underlined word is reverence. So what do you think is the meaning of that word? Okay, let's see. All right, great job. So when we say reverence, it's respect, okay? Showing respect to elders. All right, sentence number five. The underlined word is mandate. Okay, what's the answer here? Wow, nice answer. Okay, so when we say mandate, it's an order. All right. Number six. Okay, please read the sentence. So the underlined word is summit. So what does it mean? All right, let's find out. All right, very good. So when we say summit, it's peak. Okay, peak. All right, number seven. So the underlined word is twig. Okay, what do we mean by twig? Okay, let's see. All right, very good. So when we say twigs, it is a small shoot or a branch of a tree. Okay. And sentence number eight. So the underlined word is shriveled. So what do you think is the meaning of this word? All right, good job. So when we say shriveled, it's contracted. Okay, contracted. All right. So let's have sentence number nine. So the sentence is, he was smitten or smote by a sword. So what do you think is the answer here? Smitten by a sword. Okay, let's find out. Wow, very good. So when we say smitten or smote, you are severely injured. Okay, so let's have the last number. The firefighters battled the blaze for more than 7 hours before it was brought under control. So what do you think is the answer? Very good. So when we say blaze, it's a flare. All right. So class, did you understand all the vocabulary words? Okay, that's great. So this time, okay, class. So before we discuss our story for today, so let me give you first some important informations about the author. Okay, so the story that we're going to discuss today is entitled The Story of the Aged Mother, a Japanese Folktale, written by Matsuo Basho. Okay, so who is Matsuo Basho? So he was one of the greatest Japanese writers, and he was born on year 1644. Okay, so he was known in writing the haiku poem. Are you familiar with haiku? Yes, very good. So haiku is a 17 syllable poem or with a pattern 5 7 5. That's why it's 17. All right. So let's move on to the study. Okay. So class, let me read to you the story. Okay. So listen carefully. Remember, turn off your mic. Okay. So let's get started. Long, long ago, there lived at the foot of the mountain a poor farmer and his aged widowed mother. They owned a bit of land which supplied them with food, and their humble were peaceful and happy. So, Shining was governed by a despotic leader who, though a warrior. So, again, class, who are the characters mentioned earlier? All right, good job. So, the farmer, his aged widowed mother, the despotic leader. Very good. Again, so what is the name of their province? Yes, it was mentioned earlier also. Very good, Ira. So their province is Shining. Okay. So again, this let's continue the story. Despotic leader who, though a warrior, and had a great and cowardly, shrinking from anything suggestive of failing health and strength. Okay, so the king or the governor hates those negativities. That's why this caused him to send out a cruel proclamation. So the entire province was given strict orders to immediately put to death all aged people. So those were barbarous days. Again, what is the meaning of barbarous a word? Yes, very good. So it's brutal. Excuse me. And the custom of abandoning old people to die was not common. So the poor farmer loved his aged mother with tender reverence, and the order filled his heart with sorrow. But no one ever thought a second time about obeying the mandate of the governor. So, with many deep, hopeless sighs, the youth prepared for what at the time was considered the kindest mode of death. So, they are planning to do what the governor said. Okay, even though it's hard for them to follow, but it's our law. Okay, so just at sundown, when his day's work was ended, he took a quantity of unwhitened rice, which is principal food for poor, cooked and dried it, and trying it in a square cloth, swung and bundled. So nakasabit sa kanyang neck. Okay, with a gourd filled with cool and sweet water. So is that man who prepared the unwhitened rice and the water? Yes, very good. So the poor son. Then he lifted his helpless old mother to his back and started on his painful journey up the mountain. Okay, so up the mountain. So the road was long and steep. Then our road was crossed and recrossed by many paths made by the hunters and woodcutters. In some place, they mingled in a confused puzzled, but he gave no heed. Okay? One path or another, it mattered not. Okay? So, even how many paths they would take, so it doesn't matter to them. Okay? He went on climbing blindly upward, ever upward, towards the high bare summit of what is known as Obatsuyama. Okay, guys, what is the name of the mountain? Obatsuyama. Very good. So this mountain is called the abandoning of the aged. Okay, so the eyes of the old mother were not so dim, but that they noted the reckless hastening from one path to another, and her loving heart grew anxious. So the mother, all throughout their way, so the mother were just awake. Her eyes was so active. So her son did not know the mountain's many paths, and his return might be one of danger. So she stretched forth her hand and snapping the twigs from brushes as they passed. She quietly dropped a handful every few steps of the way so that they climbed the narrow path behind them was dotted as frequently intervals with tiny piles of twigs. Okay, so when we say pile of twigs, it are small branches of the tree. So what did the mother do? So she get some of the twigs and then dropped it on their paths to way up the mountain. Okay. At last, the summit was reached. Weary and heartsick, so they are very tired when they reach the peak of the mountain. So the youth gently released his burden and silently prepared a place of comfort as his last duty to the loved one. Gathering fallen pine tree needle, he made a soft cushion and tenderly lifting his old mother therein. So he wrapped her padded coat more closely about the stooping shoulders, and with tearful eyes and an aching heart, said farewell. Okay, so what did he use in making his mother a cushion? What did he use? Very good. A fallen pine needle. All right. So, okay, class, are you still there? Wow, nice to hear that. But guys, so okay, I'll give you a 5 minutes health break. Okay, so be here after 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, class? Are you all there? 5 minutes is over. Okay, so let's continue the story. Okay, so let's continue. The trembling mother's voice was full of unselfish love as she gave her last injunction. Let not thine eyes be blinded, my son, as she said. The mountain road is full of dangers. Look carefully and follow the path which holds the piles of twigs. They will guide you to the familiar way further down. The sun's surprised eyes looked back over the path, then at the poor old shriveled hands, all scratched and soiled by their work of love. His heart smote him, and bowing to the ground, he cried aloud, "Oh, honorable mother, thy kindness trust my heart. I will not leave thee. Together we will follow the path of twigs, and together we will die." Once more he shouldered his burden. How light it seemed now, and hastened down the path through the shadows and the moonlight to the little hut in the valley. Okay, so class, what did the son do? Did he leave his mother there? Yes, very good. No. So they go home together. All right. So the little hut in the valley. So beneath the kitchen floor was a walled closet for food, which was covered and hidden from view. So there, the son his mother, supplying her with everything needful and continually watching and fearing. Okay, so class, where are they now? Yes, good job. So they're already there in their house. Okay, so time passed and he was beginning to feel safe when again the governor sent forth heralds bearing an unreasonable order. Okay, again, the governor sent another order, seemingly as a boast of his power. His demand was that his subject should present him with a rope of ashes. Oh my gosh, no one could ever do that to make a rope of ashes. It's very hard. Excuse me. So the entire province trembled and with dread. So the order must be obeyed. Yet who in all shining could make a rope of ashes? One in great distress, the son whispered the news to his hidden mother. So the son told his mother about the order. So the mother said, "Wait, I will think." On the second day, she told him what to do. So the mother said, "Make rope twisted straw," she said. "Then stretch it upon a row of flat stones and burn it there on the windless night." Okay? So, what did the mother told him? To make a rope of twisted straw. Very good. All right, let's continue. He called the people together and did as she said, sorry. And when the blaze died, behold upon the stones, with every twist and fiber showing perfectly, so lay a rope of white-head ashes. So the governor was pleased at the wit of the youth and praised greatly. Okay, so the governor was impressed. Yes, very good. Al- but he demanded to know where he had obtained his wisdom. So the governor asked him, where did he obtain his wisdom? All right, so the farmer said, "Alas, alas," cried the farmer, "the truth must be told." And with deep pause, he related his story. So the farmer narrated how did he obtain that to the governor. Okay, so are you enjoying the story, class? Wow, nice to hear that. Okay, so let's continue. The governor listened. So the governor listened and then meditated in silence. Finally, he lifted his head. "Shining needs more than strength of youth," he said gravely. "Ah, that I should have forgotten the well known saying, 'With a crown of snow there cometh a wisdom.'" Okay, so class, when we say crown of snow, it pertaining to an elders. Okay, there cometh a wisdom. So when we say cometh a wisdom, so as we get older, we are becoming wiser because of our past experiences or the future one. Okay, so that very hour, the cruel law was abolished. Oh my God. So the law was now abolished, and the custom drifted into as for a past that only legends remain. Okay? So, class, did you enjoy the story? Wow, very good. Have you learned something? Okay, good job. All right, so this time, let's discuss and analyze together. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, very good. So let's now answer these following questions. Okay, so once you answer number one. Okay, Ira, who are the main characters of the story? Wow, good job. I'll give you a star for that. Okay, so the characters in the story are the poor son, his aged mother, and the despotic leader. Okay, so let's move on to question number two. Where does the story take place? Ben, answer this question. All right. So I'll give you an excellent star. Very good. So the story took place in the Shining Province or Shinano. Okay. Let's have question number three. What cruel proclamation did the ruler make? Okay, who wants to answer? Okay, so good job. So the cruel proclamation is to put to death all the aged people. All right. And sorry, let's have question number four. Okay, so what moral lesson can be drawn from the story? Who wants to answer? Wow! I'll give you a star. Good job. Okay, so the moral lesson in the story is that we should love and respect our parents. Okay, so whatever they are, even they are already old, we need to continue loving them. Okay, because our mother's love is very pure, unselfish, and unconditional. Okay? And without her, without our mother, We're not here in this world. Okay? So, whatever or whoever your mother, love her very much. Okay? All right. So, guys, thank you for all of your answers. You did great today, guys. But this time, let's have another activity. Okay? So, listen carefully to teacher. Each student will choose his or her favorite scene in the story. So you will choose your favorite scene from the story, and then later, after maybe I'll give you 5 minutes for that. So after 5 minutes, you will explain it in our class. Okay? Okay, so start now. Oh, by the way, class, since we are running out of time, so maybe we'll just going to discuss that on our next meeting. But before we end our class, I'd like you to get 1/4 sheet of paper and let's answer this one. Okay. So guys, did you get 1/4 sheet of paper already? Okay. So let's get started. So what you will do is that read carefully the given statements below. So you will write true if the statement is correct and false if the statement is not. Okay, so then prove your answer. Okay, statement number one. The farmer loved his elderly mother very much. Is it true or false? What's the answer? I'll give you 5 seconds. One, two, three, four, five. Time is up. What's the answer here? Very good. So the answer here is true. Okay, so let's have number two. Unwhitened rice and gourd filled with cool and sweet water were brought by the farmer in going up the mountain. Okay, class. One, two, three, four, five. Time is up. What's the answer here? All right. Good job. So the answer here is true. All right. Let's have a number three. In the end of the story, the governor realized his mistake. So did the governor realize his mistake? What's the answer? Is it true or false? Wow, great job. Okay, so the answer here is true. Statement number four. When the governor sent out the cruel proclamation to the entire province, the farmer urgently obeyed the law. So what do you think is the answer here? What do you think is the answer here? Okay, very good. So the answer here is false. Okay, because the farmer didn't obey that. Uh, Maybe he obeyed that because he saved his mother, but not in a cruel way. Okay. All right. Let's have number five. Mother's love is selfish. So what's the answer here? Is it true or false? One, two, three, four, five. Time is up. What's the answer? Is mother's love selfish? Yes, good job. So this statement is false because our mother's love is very pure, unselfish, and unconditional. Okay. So, guys, before we end this session, let's don't forget to write your assignment, okay? So, please write your assignment. Your assignment will be you will make a free verse poem about your mother and then put it in a word format. Okay? So, make a verse poem. So, note, submit your output through Google Drive. Okay, class. So, I will just email you or I will just message you through Messenger about the link. Where are you going to submit it? Okay, class, are you done writing? Okay, so class, I can say that you did great today. Okay, so you all did great today. So thank you so much. I hope you have learned something from our lesson today. So before we totally ended this class, guys, I just like you to remind about the moral lesson of the story. So again, class, be mindful that we need to love our mother very much. Okay, so not just our mother, our family, our parents. Okay, so let us spread love. Okay, so thank you, class, for joining today's session. So goodbye. See you on our next meeting. Goodbye.